this week on Kentucky Afield. Ever had to get creative when accessing your deer stand? We'll show you one way to do it.
This should be a good hunt.
Then, we're in Hardin County with a talented woodworker showing off his craft.
You drill holes for all these places that's cut out.
And now's the time to be on Cave Run Lake fishing for those ever-elusive muskie.
Good fish, good fish, good fish.
It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Yeah, we got one. Sweet.
Got a muskrat?
Yeah.
Good job.
What do you know about that, man? That's a good fish, man.
Nice male smallmouth, healthy, pretty color.
Cody, here. Find us one more good pheasant, Cody.
As biologists, we catch ducks and we place bands on them.
And it's just a really excellent place to see cottonmouths.
I like it.
What do you think? Like bull.
That was pretty fun.
Hello, and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. Any experienced hunter knows that when you're pursuing game with a great sense of smell, you have to get creative when playing the wind. Ballard?
Good to see you, Chad.
Good to see you. Hey, thanks for letting us have permission to deer hunt out here this year. I am really excited about checking out this piece of property.
We're excited to have you out here with us.
Tell me a little bit about this property.
Well, the property, we bought it in 1995. We've been trying to manage it for wildlife. We tried to harvest a lot of does. It's a Zone 1 county. We have a lot of a proliferation of does, and we try to shoot between 20 and 30 does every year.
For someone who hears you guys take 20 does, that sounds like a lot of does, but man, we just ran some cards looking at photos on some cameras. You really could stand to take more because these deer are in great health. We've seen a lot of triplets, and deer can repopulate so fast.
Frankly, I like seeing big deer, big mature bucks. And I found that if you don't keep a handle on your doe population, that it hurts that prospect.
Late September, we're starting to make the transition from our evening hunts being in the fields to a little more in the woods. We have a beautiful stand set right here. The problem with this set is it's at the end of a very narrow, about 300 yards long food plot. The only way to get to it is to walk down through the food plot or to cross this pond. The way the wind's blowing tonight's perfect. It's coming right out the food plot and it'll blow my scent right over this pond, and I don't foresee a deer swimming to me, so I'm going in by canoe. I'm gonna canoe across this pond down a little ways. That'll get me right in close to my tree. My wind's gonna be blowing right from the food plot, right over the pond. It should be a perfect set. Super stoked about this. The weather's been really hot and it's finally cooled off a little bit. So it's gonna get down in the 60s while we're in the woods. Deer should be moving. I just got in here and got settled in. This food plot is right up here, and that's where I expect the deer to be migrating to. I'm right on the edge of the woods. As you can see, right behind me is the water. So my wind is blowing right straight to where I came in from. If a deer comes between me and that water, it's gotta be really close, and if my wind blows out over the lake, I'm not too concerned about it. I'm expecting to see deer walk in around here and head right toward that food plot. This is a good spot to find a buck. But if a doe comes through by herself early, I will take it. I'll settle in, let the woods quiet. Hopefully I have some luck. Deer. We got a doe down. Still got about 2.5 hours before dark. We're gonna let the wood settle back down and see what happens. Well, here she is. We saw this deer fall straight where we shot it. So, what a nice doe. We got in here this evening, came in by canoe, very quiet, had a very little scent trail. This deer comes in, and she was on this trail. Right when I took the shot, there's about a 5-foot difference between me and the camera, and unfortunately it was right behind a hickory tree. And we didn't get to see the impact, but the deer went down right there. Wow, did we see a bunch of deer tonight? They were everywhere. This spot is really, really hot. What an exciting hunt. I'm gonna get this deer, get it out, and be in the spot again soon. Same set that we killed a doe in last hunt. I'm hoping to see a lot of deer. Hopefully that big buck shows up. If a single doe shows up early in the hunt, I will take it. The wind is perfect. This should be a good hunt. Deer. Oh, here she is, right here. All right. Man, I'm shocked this deer went as far as it did with that shot. Very happy to have this deer. It's my 3rd doe of the year. This will allow me to fill the freezer. I'll be hunting for antlers. We were buck hunting tonight after we took this deer. We had 2 bucks that came in on us. There's an 8-pointer and a 6-pointer, and they met right in front of us. I was worried that as much as they stayed around in front of us, that they may get below us and wind us. They never did. They kind of played around a little bit. Thank goodness we decided to put that stand in a location that's really not far from the water. We've had very few deer walk below us, and in a north wind like we're getting tonight, perfect. I tell you, the canoe is paying off. I'm gonna get this one out, get it in the canoe, and get it back. I'm really excited to have this deer.
Woodworking, segmentation, and fretwork. What does this have to do with wildlife? Let's go to Hardin County and find out. I've been told that this is the place you come for wildlife viewing. Is that true?
Hope so.
I've been told by a good friend of mine that you're involved in woodworking and you like to do woodworking pieces with fish and wildlife.
True.
Your fascination with wildlife, have you been an outdoors person all your life?
Yep.
Yeah.
Used to bow hunt for deer all the time.
Yeah.
And groundhogs.
Yeah.
Don't shoot groundhogs.
And I'm assuming you like to fish.
Oh, yeah.
I see that smallmouth. You must have witnessed a few smallmouth bass in your day to realize this thing looks spot on.
Quite a few of them in Green River.
Yeah. Show me an example of some of this different stuff we've got here. So this is obviously a white-tailed deer.
This is called segmentation, and it's all cut out in little bitty pieces. You raise and lower the pieces to get depth in it, and then whenever you get back away from it, it's like an oil painting or something. It all blends in together.
You can see the depth right here where you got the two legs and the roundness. You get that roundness on it. That's really cool. So this is segmentation.
That's segmentation.
All right, and then you got another style here. What kind of artwork is this?
Now this is intarsia.
Intarsia, okay.
And I try to put all the details I can in any of my stuff. I cut all the hair in and everything on all of it. Mm. The last thing I ever do to a deer, or anything I do, is got eyes. I do the eyes last. That puts life in them. They come to life when you put eyes on.
Oh yeah, that's true. The one that really caught my attention was this smallmouth. Tell me what this is.
This is fretwork, and you put your pattern on and you drill holes for all these places that's cut out. You go to the saw and you saw all of those pieces out.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm very interested in seeing how you do this. I'd love to see you go through this process. All right, so show me how you're going to do this.
What I do is I take and put tape on them like this.
And that's just regular old masking tape, huh?
Regular masking tape. Then I take this here, I use 3M77, and I spray the pattern on the back. And then I position them on the thing like I want it.
Wow.
And then I drill holes in this, in each one of these places, I drill holes.
So every spot that you're going to remove,
it's got a hole in it.
It's got to have a hole in it.
Yep. One of the reasons I like doing this is this is a dying art.
Oh, yeah.
Now you get a computer and you punch in something, the machine cuts it out. That's not woodwork.
Yeah, no. So you've went through and put dozens of holes, and this is not even finished. This probably have about 100 holes in it when you're all finished, right?
Yeah.
And the reason you put these holes in here is that you have to have a way to get a saw blade in, right?
Right. This is a scroll saw.
A scroll saw. Look how little that blade is. You said you even used smaller ones than that?
Oh yeah. Put the blade through, push it in there, and tighten it up down here.
It's ready to go, huh?
Ready to go.
Comes. Pops it right out of there, doesn't it?
Yep.
So that's how the process works. You keep going until you've got them all removed.
Got them all out.
There's no burning. There's no nothing. No. It's just all sawing out, and then you've come through here and you've made this a little darker color, and you've lightened this up, and the fish is actually a different color too, right?
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you letting us come in here and slowing you down a little bit today. I can tell that you probably had 2 or 3 of these done, but I tell you, it really is cool how you get the depth when you kind of move this thing, and how you can see how deep these cuts that you put in.
Well, if you look at that, you instantly know it's smallmouth.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I don't care if you've not caught many fish in your life, you can see that and go, that's a smallmouth. That is really, really cool. Now let's check in and see who's catching what and where in this week's fishing report.
In western Kentucky, down at Kentucky and Barkley Lakes, the water temperatures this week have gotten cooler because of the weather, and crappie fishermen are starting to hit the lake. Right now, they've been out just fishing the ledges with jigs. A lot of Crappie fishermen are going to pull in small crankbaits, like little bandit type crankbaits. As far as bass fishing, they're still finding their fish out on the ledges. In the early mornings, you might find some up on the shallows, or late in the evenings where they're chasing shad minnows. But your best bass bite is still out there in a little bit of deeper water, fishing the drops, the humps around those secondary channels. The tailwaters has been pretty hot too, as far as striped bass, white bass, and catfish, because of this stable weather. Well, this is Paul Reister, and I hope you find a good day to go fishing.
This is Marcy Anderson with the Fishing Report for Southeast Kentucky. On the Cumberland tailwater, the Creole Crooks are seeing good numbers of keeper-sized rainbow trout and have seen an increase in the number of rainbow trout in the slot. Several brook trout are also being caught. Best catches of trout are being had under low flow conditions, so check the generation schedules prior to heading out. Small spoons and spinners, along with power baits and night crawlers, are the most productive baits on the tailwater right now. On Lake Cumberland, water was still in the low 70s, but with the recent cold front, we expect fishing to heat up as water temperatures drop. Some striped bass jumps have been reported on the main lake, but they have been sporadic. Elsewhere in the district, several streams outside of the Daniel Boone National Forest were stocked with rainbow trout. Be sure to check the fishing guide to know which streams are part of the seasonal catch and release program. So good luck and good fishing.
This is Rob Rold in the Northwestern Fishery District. Nolan River Lake is 3 feet below summer pool. Rough River Lake, however, 9 feet over summer pool and pretty much holding steady. Nolan fishing has been a little tough there because of the normal fall turnover and low oxygen associated with that, but everything's picking up. Bass have been hitting some medium running crankbaits on the mud flats and the rock flats. Crappie have been fairly active on brush piles in the 10 to 15 foot range, and with the water dropping 6 inches a day, that can change every few days where the crappie are. So largemouth at Lake Malone have also been doing well. Ohio River has been in good shape. Several nice catfish have been caught. That is an update from the Northwestern Fishery District. Please remember, be safe on the water. Always wear your life jackets.
As fall arrives and the water temperatures start to cool, some of the fishing just starts to heat up. When it comes to muskie fishing, are you talking about one fish every 4 or 5 trips is pretty good?
Yeah, I mean, you look for fish. Muskie fishing is kind of like big game hunting. You know? It's like looking for a big deer and stuff. And so, you know, you don't see them every time, but if you see one, sometimes that's enough.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, this time of year in the fall, you know, after a long hot summer, and then the water starts to cool off, it gets below 80 degrees, around mid-70s. And it'll cool off in the backs of these hollows quicker than the main body of the lake, and so those fish are up here in that preferred temperature. And they'll, you know, once they start that, they'll stay around for a little while.
What is different about this lake that helps it support muskie versus other bodies of water here in Kentucky?
Well, you know, this is native water. The muskie were native to Licking River, of course.
Yeah.
And that's what Cave Run and pounded, but a pretty deep oxygenated zone here during the summer.
And now, with the muskie in the summertime, would they get down there pretty deep and live, hang out?
You know, sometimes that thermocline is, you know, 25, 29 feet.
Yeah.
It helps them find that right temperature. It still has oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of our lakes stratify 15 feet and they get 85 degrees in the summer. And of course, you know, muskie can survive that, but you know, their optimal temperature, you know, is that cooler water.
Uh-oh, here we go. Nice.
Not a big one.
That is awesome.
Yeah, he's not real big.
No, but that is a muskie. Nice job.
That's not the one that came up earlier. The other one was bigger. Of course, they're always bigger when you don't get them. But,
but still, so what's that fish? Probably.
Yeah, he's maybe 30. He's 28,
28 long, probably?
Something like that.
Hit that AC shiner.
Just when times get tough, that's the go-to bait.
Well, when he come out and jumped, that thing jumped 4 or 5 feet. Of course,
Yeah.
you're pulling it a little bit, but that's...
You notice he hit on when I was pulling it up.
Yeah.
So as it was coming up, that's when they grab it.
That is pretty awesome, though. Toothy critters.
There he goes.
There he goes.
But he's healthy.
I think that's the first time I've ever been in a boat that we caught a muskie, especially targeting him. And
he wasn't real big, but
you know, and you throw all these crazy baits. You got the big spinnerbait looking things, whopper plopper, and the one you catch it on, you said you've probably caught more than any other bait. It's really a bait that's bass size.
It's a bass size bait, and one of my biggest fish, 50-incher, came off of this. I like the big baits. You can see big fish on it, especially this time of year. But don't be afraid to throw something like that, because one of their main diets in here is shad. And I just put a little bigger hook on the back, but you'd be surprised how many times they just hook up on the middle one, because it's not that big. It fits in their mouth,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was exciting. He hit.
Oh man,
he hammered
that thing
it.
came up and jumped. It jumped 4 or 5
You see him
feet.
jump?
4 or
That's
5
crazy,
feet
wasn't
across
it?
the water. You're like, uh-oh, this is on.
In the lake, you're looking at, kind of a density of 1 fish for 3 acres.
1 fish for 3 acres.
But, this time of year, even though a solitary fish, they all like the same conditions, so there may be several fish here.
Yeah.
Not unusual at all, and actually that's why you need to fish when they're hitting.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
All right. Raise it up, raise it up, raise it. Oh, that's a good one. Hold on, boys, that's a good one. That's a good one. Good fish. Let me get you out of the trees here. Oh, God, you're in the trees.
Got me wrapped up in those trees there.
Get him up, get him up, get him up. All right, now we're out.
Here we go.
Now we're out. Good fish, good fish, good fish. We're in treetops there, so I don't want to. A little big one,
Got him hooked on top of the head. Yes! Yes! My first muskie. Hey, we saw that same fish, same spot. We left, came back an hour and a half later, came back, and sure enough, there he was. That is awesome.
This is a good one. This is a good
what do you think we got there? 40 inches?
Yeah, he's probably 40-incher. Hold on, let me get a quick thing on him here. Yeah, it's probably 13, 14-pound fish, I'm guessing.
On the AC shiner again.
Yep, starting to revive. There it goes.
There he goes. My first time ever muskie fishing. And boy, I picked a good day to come and a good partner to come with. It's our 5th fish that's come up. We've had 2 in the boat. We had another one come up and bump. And mainly on these AC shiners, the double O's is what we're throwing. And hey, there's several more in here. We may catch another. That's great. Now let's see who else is out there having fun as we check out this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Here we have a nice turkey taken by 11-year-old Colin Hunter of Fort Thomas. He was hunting with his Uncle Rick in Pendleton County. Nice turkey. Here we have a photo of the Cage family who come back every single year to Perry County to rabbit hunt. These rabbits were taken on Paul Van Boeven WMA. Nice job. Here we have Stella Dowdy with her first turkey ever taken with her dad in Crittenden County. She was hunting with a 20-gauge shotgun. Nice job. Here's a nice bass caught by 4-year-old Ella Rouse of Cold Spring, Kentucky while fishing with her dad. Nice job. Here we have a real pretty bird taken by Danielle Dick, 14 years old of Science Hill, Kentucky, taken during the youth turkey hunt. Congratulations. Here's a real nice largemouth bass caught at Carfork Lake by Steve Kraft and his grandson Braden Roberts. Nice fish. Here we have 18-year-old Maddie Bruner of Davis County, Kentucky. Here she's got her snow geese that were taken during the conservation season in Sykeston, Missouri. Here's a nice crappie caught by Jesse Webb of Ashland, Kentucky. It was caught in Grayson Lake. Congratulations. Here we have a nice buck, 11-pointer, taken at the Falls of the Rough, Kentucky by Joe Buckman. Nice deer. Do you want more Kentucky Afield? Well, you can find more by following us at Facebook, logging on to YouTube, and now Roku. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.